Google's Nexus 9 seems to be a happy medium between the Nexus 7 and the Nexus 10, and like it or not, it's here to replace both of them. Hey, what's up everyone, this is Dom, and today we're getting into my full review of the HTC-made Google Nexus 9. Has Google made a triumphant return to the tablet space, or is this just something to tide you over until another company steps up to the plate? Well, let's go ahead and find out. Android tablets haven't always offered the greatest experience when compared to smartphones, but there's one word that perfectly describes the change this market needed: Lollipop. In my opinion, Android 5.0 is the best thing that has happened to the tablet space in a while, and the Nexus 9 is the first place you'll get to see it in action. That being said, there are a lot of things that make the Nexus 9 a great device aside from its pure software experience. The Nexus 9 is powered by a 64-bit NVIDIA Tegra K1 dual-core processor clocked at 2.3 GHz, a 192-core Kepler GPU, 2 GB of RAM, and a 6700 mAh battery. The Nexus 9 is bordered by a smooth, brushed metal frame and delivers an 8.9-inch display with a resolution of 2048 by 1536 that's covered in Gorilla Glass 3. Overall, it's a bright, crisp, and colorful IPS display. Based on design alone, it would be easy to convince someone that the Nexus 9 is the love child created from a Nexus 5 and the NVIDIA Shield tablet. It takes on most of the design characteristics from both of these devices, but in a slightly different package. That's not a bad thing in any way, but if you've held either of those devices, you'd know that the construction isn't supreme, but it definitely has a quality build. On the backside, we have a soft touch plastic material with the Nexus and HTC branding, and an 8-megapixel camera with an LED flash. I'm not a huge fan of the matte finish of the plastic on the black version because it does tend to get a little grimy after a while, but it's nothing that a small cloth can't fix with a few passes. Also, on the front side is a 1.6 megapixel camera, but like myself, you'll probably only ever use it for the occasional hangout or Skype call. One edge of the Nexus 9 is home to its lock button, volume rocker, and a small microphone. Because the buttons sit so close to the body, I did find it hard to locate them at times. It's not a deal breaker, but there's not enough protruding feel to them when compared to other tablets. On the top, you'll find a 3.5mm headphone jack, while the bottom makes room for the micro USB charging port and a secondary microphone. If you're into consuming media, the Nexus 9's front-facing speakers will deliver the goods. They aren't the best speakers in the world, but if anyone knows about front-facing speakers, it's HTC. These boom sound speakers are a little warm overall, but definitely loud enough to cut through the crowd. There are a limited number of tablets with dual front-facing speakers, and I'm glad the Nexus 9 is a part of that club. There's no doubt that the Nexus 9 is built to perform, and because it's running Android 5.0 Lollipop, it has every opportunity in the world to do so. Lollipop makes this tablet a dream to use. This isn't going to be a Lollipop review, but I'm definitely certain that Google's latest mobile OS is a life-changing experience for all Android devices. If you'd like to hear my full thoughts on Lollipop and its features in a full review, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Thanks to its processor and GPU setup, the Nexus 9 flies through tasks like a boss. Multitasking is smooth, animations are slick, and if you're a fan of Android, you'll fall in love with the software experience here. Material design is a big change for Android. Everything is animated and you get a real sense of direction when navigating through the user interface. There's a nice flow to every transition, and tablet apps have seen a lot of optimization, which is always a welcomed improvement. Gaming on the Nexus 9 is a breeze. Though it's not a difficult task for most high-end flagships these days, the Nexus 9 took on top Play Store titles with ease and stability. One thing I did notice is that the Nexus 9 gets warm to the touch during heavy use. About 1/4 of my unit began to warm up in the top corner by the camera when playing games. It wasn't hot, but warm enough that I noticed it regularly. As for camera performance, the Nexus 9 is just alright. It's an 8-megapixel sensor, but I was never too impressed. I'm sure there won't be many out in the wild shooting pictures with the Nexus 9, so I classify the camera on this tablet as a free extra feature. It's not great, but it'll do okay if you're in a pinch. Just make sure that your shooting environment is perfectly lit and it'll capture passable photos. With a 6700 mAh battery inside of the Nexus 9, I definitely expected above average performance. Under my average to heavy tablet usage, which consisted of watching a couple of movies, playing games, using Twitter, Facebook, listening to music, and browsing the web, I experienced around 5 to 5.5 hours of screen on time. This seemed like a fair number considering my usage, but I also received an OTA update during the review period that has improved this area. That being said, I think Google's estimated 9.5 hours of Wi-Fi browsing isn't too far off, but it's likely that future software updates will extend the battery life even more. So what's the takeaway here? Well, at $399 for the 16GB model, the Nexus 9 is hard to pass up. It's a sleek mid-sized tablet that's perfect for those on the go, and currently, it's the only one shipping with Android 5.0 Lollipop. With the Nexus 9, you're getting Google's idea of the perfect tablet experience. It's fast, thin, light, and is optimized to run like a beast. There may be a few hit or miss areas about the Nexus 9, but overall, it's a complete package for those looking for an unadulterated Android experience on what Google and HTC consider the latest and greatest in tablet technology. While it may not be perfect in every area, the Nexus 9 is definitely a solid tablet that Google can lead the pack with for the next year or so. So I hope you enjoyed my review of Google's Nexus 9, and if you did, be sure to leave this video a thumbs up as it does help out the channel a lot. Also, if you're not already, be sure to subscribe for my full review of Google's Nexus 6 coming up here in the near future. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate it. This is Dom, and have a great day.